How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Life After Lockdown. I'm Pete, your host, the creator of this channel. I created this channel so the world will know, and the people will have an understanding of what inmates, prisoners, whatever you want to call them, or ex-cons, people on probation, parole go through. Even when they're in jail, on probation, parole, all the conditions. I'm going to start with my life. And another thing, if you want to be an interviewer, just email me at Petey, that's Petey, SIEKIERDA @gmail.com, or just leave a comment on Life After Lockdown on one of the videos. And we can go through StreamYard here, or we can go through Zoom, or whatever platform you want to go through. We can go live, we could do a pre-recorded video, or we could do an audio video with your pictures in the background. You send me the pictures you want to on there, and I'll make sure that people can understand, they can see what you look like on the screen, as you know, if you're video shy. So my story, and this is also, I'm sorry, I'm new to this computer stuff anyway. And it's also a platform for drug users, because you can't talk about prison reform and being in prison in and out all your life without talking about drugs. That's like 95, 99, very high rate of people going to jails because of drug related. So people can also come on this platform and talk about their history of drugs, even if they haven't been in jail, and with the pharmaceutical companies, stuff like that. But only politics we will be talking about on here is the criminal justice system, the courts, the jails, the probation, parole, everything like that in relation to that. Not presidents, not senators, only the people, well, senators or, governors or mayors, or if they get involved when the YouTube algorithm finally picks this channel up when I get more subscribers. So I urge you, please hit the subscribe button. As they say, smash that like button. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, give it a left hook, that like button. So the algorithm of YouTube will pass it to more people can see this channel, because it comes from my heart. This is something I always wanted to do about 7 years ago. And now I have all the equipment to do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep doing it. So as I work a part-time job, I have plenty of time to do this. So anyway, enough of that. I just wanted to make clarity of what the show's about and who can come on, and you talk about anything, drug related, prison related, probation related, anything. So here we go, my story. Oh, and abuse as a child, your childhood too. We can start off with that interview. So this is where I want to start off with mine. I was 9 years old. That's the earliest I can remember. My father did very few things with me. He used to put me down mentally. No physical or no sexual stuff, no sexual abuse, just physical and mental. Mental was the worst abuse you could have. Being put down, saying you're not going to be nothing, you're worthless, and so and so. And it came from my father daily. And he also did it to my mother, which created a lot of anger inside of me as a kid. My first charge I ever got in my life, I got arrested at 12 years old, breaking into a construction trailer, stealing saws and, toolboxes and stuff like that at 12. But that pain inside of me, that depression turned into anger, and hanging out with the wrong people, I was the leader to break laws and stuff like that. So it took a lot of depression off of me by acting angry. So that's how I spent 11 years in and out of my life in jail. I have invested 11 years, maybe some few months change, more than 11 years, but started with abuse from the household. So as 9 years old, the first time I remember, a very abusive household. I know a lot of people don't have no fathers. That's why a lot of people go to jail. But when I was a kid, I always wish I didn't have a father, So I want to state that I have almost 5 years clean. On November 22nd, 2021, I'll have 5 years clean. Alcohol, hard drugs, everything. And 8 years, about 6 months short of 8 years of being off paper in the system. I haven't been in jail or anything or sentenced to anything in 8 years. I got maybe 2 speeding tickets since then. So let's continue. So abusive household, first arrest at 12, then it kept going, of course, then 14, then 15, then from 16 to 17, I did a year in Ferris Juvenile Hall. And that was, I live in the state of Delaware, so that was just basic prison. They didn't have no programs when I was growing up. I'm 42 years old. So they didn't have any programs and stuff like that when I was growing up for me and my friends and everything. Now they got boot camp and all that stuff. They were building a boot camp next door, which is called Bridge House. This place was called Ferris. It's in Newark, Delaware. Around the Newark area in Delaware. So that's where I live, and I lived all my life. I lived in Maryland, and I lived in Florida. I have one convicted felon, one felony in Delaware. I have 2 in Maryland. I have 1 in Florida. It's hard for me to get a job because I was charged at 19 years old with attempted murder, 2 attempted murders, and 2 gun charges during the commission of a felony A crime, which are those 2 attempted murders. Ruined my life at 19. They overcharged the kid and didn't care if they ruined his life at all. So I got overcharged, and my life has been hell ever since of getting a job. That's that part. But back to childhood, breaking laws, not caring. I was the craziest out of my whole friends and groups. I used to shoot guns out the window at people, even people walking their dogs. I had so much hate in my heart, man. So much hate in my heart. Robbing people. I used to go to Wilmington and rob drug dealers. I used to go to Philly and rob drug dealers. You see this half Italian, half Polish guy, skinny as hell. When I finally went to jail, before 1999, so from a juvenile, all my juvenile, right? When I first hit 18, I went to Gander Hill, real man prison. I'm in big boys now. Yeah, I was a little intimidated, but I already had experience of that 1 year in Ferris and juvenile prison or juvenile jails for juveniles can be way worse. Juvenile hall could be pretty, sometimes worse than real life prisons because they're young kids and they're facing life. They're facing 50 years, 20 years, 10, whatever. They're just wild and young and immature. They don't know nothing about life. So anyway, 18, just in and out, bail. Most bail was maybe $600-700. So I kept getting bailed out with my family and everything. Then 19, they hit me with those attempted murder charges and gun charges. And I sat with an $80,000 bail for 2.5 years until I had the second best lawyer in the state of Delaware. And I kept refusing plea deals. The first public defender I had was, he said, take this 15 years and run with it. But check this out. I never, but check this out. Sorry about that. That's my phone. But I never got caught with a gun. My friend got caught with the gun. Says it was mine. And another friend that was with us. They both had 2 days before the state police interviewed them. So they had enough time to come up with their own story to blame it on Pete. So they ratted me out. He said I was going to go plan and kill this girl that I was with for almost 4 years. We kept seeing each other at the end, on and off of those 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, whatever the relationship was. So they came up with this scheme and said it was on me. So how do I get charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of first-degree attempted murder? I don't understand that. Only in Delaware, right? So I pled down to attempted assault first degree. I don't know how you attempt to assault anybody. Either you assault them or don't. What do? Get a baseball bat or a gun, point at them, say I'm going to kill you. If anything, that's terroristic threats or aggravated menacing or something like that. It's not first degree attempted murder. Where you where you already know what you're going to do. Premeditated. That's the word I'm looking for. Premeditated attempted murder. So 2 of them, 2 gun charges towards her and the guy she was with. And criminal mischief, little misdemeanor, for what my friend, who is now passed away, rest in peace, sliced her tires up. I also took the blame for that. See, me, I was always growing up, and nobody taught me this. It's just, I guess it's the generation in my household. I grew up to never tell on anyone. I took about 3 charges for people in my life. And I had a friend named John, the one I just said, rest in peace, about. He didn't tell on me. You know, he didn't tell on me. And he was a big part of that case. I ate that case. I sat in the terrible old section of this jail called Gander Hill in Delaware for 2.5 years before even sentencing. Then I took a plea finally for 4 years. So what I have, a year and some change to do, because and I didn't get no good time. I never get good time. I always run my time up. I'm even more wilder in jail. Imagine going in jail 19 years old and coming out then at 22, you know, just turned 22, somewhere around there. And I had 5 years probation, level 3. Level 3 in Delaware, we have levels of probation, 1 and 3. 1 is unsupervised, just don't catch a charge, you won't violate your probation. 2 is monthly supervision. Don't catch a charge, go back to jail, or if you miss your monthly visit, you go back to jail, and they could check on your house. They rarely do, but level 3 is every week, urine test every week. They even find marijuana, you're gone. You have to give them 72 hours before you change of address. I got violated and did 8 months in Plumber Center. That's a work release place in Wilmington, Delaware as well. Everything is mostly in Delaware. I'm starting off in part 1, my Delaware experiences. So 8 months. I gave her on her voicemail. She didn't answer. It was on a Thursday. So I gave her 48 hours, but they changed the policy just 2 weeks before it was 72 hours. It used to be 48 hours. Then it went to 72 hours. I wasn't warned about this. She didn't tell me nothing about this, even though she knew I was going to change addresses. So they did you dirty. They did me dirty like that. They do everybody dirty like that. So I was in and out on technicals. I was in and out of catching charges. I was jumping home from home, back to the childhood thing, jumping from my grandparents' house, my mom's house, my mom and step-pop's house, my other grandparents' house. I had 2 grandparents that lived in the same neighborhood, so I could literally walk 5 minutes from each house. I lived in both of their basements as a kid. I was damn near almost born in one of their basements, you know what I mean? So I'm the first child of 3. I have a sister that is 41 and a brother that is 30. So I'm the oldest one. You know how it is being the oldest. Either you get it the worst or the best. I didn't get it the best. And, life is rough with a criminal record. It's very rough. I'm going through the stages now, getting expungement, but let me continue. So growing up, being told you're worthless, you're worthless right from the gate every day. And you're being put through drywall. Literally, I was put through drywall. My imprint of my little body when I was maybe about 11 was the imprint of drywall. Like you see a chalk line on dead bodies in movies, you can see the imprint of my body through drywall. So I was physically and mentally abused. It was fucked up. The mental shit was the worst. Physical pain goes away. To this day, I'd rather be punched in the face 100 times than be told every day, you ain't shit, you ain't gonna be nothing. And especially at a juvenile, you know how bad that is. That hurts a kid bad. I have a son that's 15 years old. I couldn't imagine telling him something like that. I will never, ever say nothing like that to my son. I never hit my son because I don't have to. What I say to my son, he listens to me. I don't have to say it ignorant either. I could just change my tone of voice and he knows. It's another topic I'll get on one of my parts of my story that I'm sharing. Is you can raise your kids a different way. You have to raise your kids a different way these days. With cell phones, social media. I try to get them away from cell phone. That's hard. But, so back to me. Going in and out of jail all my life. Didn't care if I went back. The shortest I ever did, stayed out of jail. So after I did that, it was a 7-year sentence total. First, they dropped it down to attempted assault. There was 2 attempted murders, 2 gun charges, because they didn't have no evidence. I should not have I took a plea, but my grandmother, who was paying for the lawyers, put money on the books. They were pleading with me, Petey, please. You're stressing us out. Our hair is getting gray and everything. Please take the plea. Each charge is 30. It's 15 to 36. See, in the state of Delaware, it's 15 minimum, 36 maximum for first degree attempted murder, premeditated. So, but first degree murder, premeditated, if you actually kill the person, is 15 to 45. Not much of a difference there, is there? So, we always used to say, I don't say this, but in Delaware, if you shoot somebody above the waist, you might as well just finish it because you're going away for a long time anyway. But anyway, I speak peace now. This channel is about teaching, if any kids watch this or people that feel like they want to break the law, man, let me tell you something. Prison ain't cool, man. Prison is the farthest thing from cool. What it does is it turns your heart cold. When I went in at 19 years old and sat down for 4 years and kept going in and out from violations of technicals and small bullshit, right? Before I went in, I had a good heart. You know how you naturally have a good heart for people and you're patient and you love life. You wake up in the morning, stretch out, smell the air, that's the good in you. But after so many years, months, days in jail, I wouldn't say days. Some people it could bother them months. Some people are not made for jail. I seen somebody come in for 2 weeks, only facing 6 months in jail, max 6 months, and hang themselves to the cell next door to me. I seen somebody kill herself, a 20-year-old, facing 6 months in jail. On the second week there, he killed himself. So a lot of people ain't made for this stuff. I didn't know if I was made for it when I was 19. Obviously, I came out alive. But one thing prison did take from me, it made me be incarcerated in the mind. I may still be incarcerated in the mind, institutionalized. They have the word for that. That's what that word is for. That's why it's invented. Because it's 3 hots and a cot they provide for you. And you have a schedule. So when people get out of jail and that schedule and 3 hots in the cot is gone and their family is done with them because they keep going in and out of jail, they're homeless. And I'll tell you one thing right now. I was homeless for 8 months in Cecil County, Maryland. And I'd rather be in jail all day long than be homeless. Homeless was one of the hardest things I ever had to go through. The 3rd month was the closest I ever came to ever wanting to commit suicide. I talked about it to others before in the past. Of course, when I was a kid, I went to state hospitals. Parents always did. Why is he depressed all the time? See, they didn't have child protective services back in the 80s and 90s like they do now. The cop comes to the door and the parents say, "No, my kid's all right. He's in the bedroom." The cop is coming in this house, regardless. Back then, the cop would take the parents' word for it. "Oh, he's okay? Okay. Yeah, false call, officer. My child's fine. He's right back there. Right, Petey?" Many times. I said, "Yeah." To wipe the tears off. "I'm all right, officer. Everything's cool." Once that door shuts, got my motherfucking ass beat. You had to stay silent. Kids, you don't have to stay silent. It starts at home. Even people with great childhoods. Welcome to the chat, Lil Draco. Even people with great childhoods get stuck in the system. They can hang around other bad kids in school, man. Run with the wrong crew. Peer pressure, man. Especially these days, social media, peer pressure, and music. Listen, I'm a big fan of music, all kinds of music. My first preference of music is hip hop and rock and roll. But if I was to put something on cruising in my car, it definitely would be hip hop. Some days I feel like rock and roll. I just started liking some country maybe about 6 years ago. A few country songs here and there. But it's just the area I grew up in. It was a suburban area. But next door I lived to these apartments, which is like a little baby ghetto projects. Like back in the day, it was all black and Spanish. So every time my pop used to whoop my ass and tell me I wasn't shit, I used to go over to the black side of the neighborhood. Puerto Ricans, blacks. They used to embrace me. They used to go in there, Petey. Yeah, can I get a soda, Miss Brown, one was Miss Brown. I forget a lot of names, but yeah, go in there. Yeah, go, boy. You can go get your own drinks or whatever. Make a sandwich too. A lot of people knew what was going on, so I was embraced by that community, and this channel I created for the passion of all colors too. Obviously 85% of prisons and jails, county jails in America and the feds are black Americans, with the percentage a little higher in Hispanic, Spanish people, Ricans, Mexicans, and then white is the minority. Why minorities on the street are a majority in jail. And if you don't think that's on purpose, you don't think that's literally done politically, then you're fooled. Yeah, a lot of people break the law like they come from broken homes like myself. They don't have no fathers. Me, I had a father. He just beat the shit out of me, told me I wanted shit. I wish he wasn't there. But a lot don't have that. They don't have somebody, because boys, they don't take their mothers serious like they do their fathers. You will take your father serious if you have a serious father. All you got to do is raise his voice to your ass, and come on in. It's time to come in for the night. Come in for dinner. You're going to come in. If it's your mom, single mother with boys and girls these days. Back in the day, the girls used to listen. The boys didn't if they didn't have a dad. But now everybody's just wild. So this channel is to spread shit like that, man. I don't water nothing down. Anybody is welcome. It's welcome to share their pain, man. That's all I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? That's why it's very important people share, like, and subscribe to this thing. This ain't your normal prison channel where people brag about how much time they did or how much tough they are or how much people they shanked and fought up in jail. You didn't think I fought in jail? You didn't think I had to poke somebody? I got friends, I got a lot of people that can verify me, that I'm not a rat, I don't snitch, but I don't go about it like these rappers you listen to, these fake gangsters, oh, don't rat, don't snitch. I'm saying, yeah, still stick to that, but it's all bullshit, bro. It's all bullshit. So to stay away from that fucking bullshit, you stay away from the gang, you stay out of that shit. Go in your own lane. Fuck a gang. Fuck a gang. That's all I always said. Why should I join a gang when I was already doing dirt since a kid? The baddest fucking kid, you know, out of every friend I had, except a couple maybe. Talking about as juvenile growing up. That didn't give a fuck. I didn't care what my future was. I didn't think I was going to live long. You could ask any one of my friends that. And I will have a lot of my friends on here. Hopefully, if they would join. I don't know if they don't want to talk about it or not. I'm not going to talk about open cases. If you do have an open case, I will use the word allegedly. I'm not here to get anybody called up, you know, on these other hip hop channels, getting people called up. No, I'm here to keep people out, man. But, so in and out of jail, it's not a joke. It's not fun. You may see your homeboys in there and say, hey, what's up? Reunite with them for a little while. Half the people I know ain't coming to fuck home. They're always going to be there. I've been out of the system almost 8 years. Like I said, guess what? They're still going to be there. They're right back there. They're right back there. They'll tell you their opinions if they could. And now they can. Once I get these contacts, they're going to be on here. They're going to be on video or audio, but I will get this shit done. I will spread the word. Did 10 years, Draco? Yeah, so you feel what I'm saying? Oh, you're doing it right now? Okay. We got somebody up in chat, little Draco. Little Draco up in here. So he said he's in here, right? He's in jail right now. He's in prison right now. Or he's facing 10. I don't know. Well, he may be free or going to court, but either way, shit ain't no joke. Whether what you're facing or whatever, you know what I mean. They trick you in court. They offer you a plea because they know you're going to take it, especially if you got a criminal record. They know you're going to take that plea because they scare the shit out of you with these football numbers. That's what happened to me. 36 and 36 max, even though they usually don't give you the max. But the point is, on my case, when I was 19, when they fucked my life up, and it still bothers me to this day, getting a job at 42 years old, I never got caught with the gun. I never even shot nobody with it. Just had two dudes come together and said, Petey, I go by Petey Racks. Petey was going to kill her and him the next night. And they sliced the tires. And the boy John, the dead one I told you about this past, he sliced the tires. So I'm the one that had to go away. I kept my mouth shut. I didn't say, oh, it was his gun or his gun or his gun. I could have told on all three of them to save my ass because the dude got caught with the gun, right? I could have said it was his gun. Fucking closed case. But But they charged me with possession of a handgun during the commission of a felony, a crime. I sat on that. And my intuition, nobody in jail, nobody on the street, nobody growing up was telling me about don't tell her nothing. It was just an intuition. It was built into me to never do that. Now, everybody's different. If you're not living that life, if you're not hustling, if you don't have to hustle to make a living, to feed your family, but if you do, salute to you. You got to do what you got to do. But no, when you take that chance, you got to lay down for a little bit. That's just reality. You're going to lay the fuck down. Don't blame on nobody else. I couldn't live with myself. I could not literally live with myself if I did a crime, told on another dude, I stay free, he does all the time. I couldn't live with myself. I'd off myself. Cut from different cloth. Cut from different cloth. Feel me? So that's just part one for now. You know what I mean? So at 19, they fucked the kid's life up. They didn't give me no programs. See, my brother, he was in Florida, right? Tampa, Florida. I lived there for 2 years. He lived there. We did all the move. Me, my mom's, my step-pop, my brother, my baby's mom, which my son wasn't born yet. She had 2 girls, 7 and 4. They're now 21 and 23. I took them as my daughters, just still are like my daughters. They have their own kids now. But we all moved. And my homeboy, too, and his girlfriend at the time. We moved to Tampa, Florida. I got caught for fraud. I was making prescriptions out of machine, out of printers and shit like that. Making, pink Percocets, all that shit. All the good shit. Selling it. Making a killing. Man, and then I started, after the first 6 months, started doing them. You know what I mean? This is back in 05 when we moved. It took about 06 until I started hustling, because in Florida, that type of murder shit was haunting me. I couldn't get a job. In Florida, they don't pay you as much. Shit, my brother now, he's a certified mechanic working at BMW and all that shit. He gets paid. He won't take a job no lower than 45 hours an hour. Me, I couldn't. I work at warehouses and shit like that. So at that time, I was making like $12.50, $13 an hour. But in Florida, it was like $8-9 an hour. They say it levels off the rent, because the rent's like 3-bedroom apartment, $650. Yeah, but it ain't like that now. But the point is, we weren't getting by like that, so I had to hustle. And then after about 6 months of hustling, I was like, let me try some of these joints, man. Let me swallow a couple of these. So I took some, and I got hooked on them shits. And so I got a felony for fraud. They pulled me up, like 6 of them on the Walgreens. I used to jump to different Walgreens, had a list of which doctor, you know what I mean, and which I had like 4 doctors. I had 4 different pharmacies for what pharmacy each doctor went to, so I wouldn't get caught. So one time, I guess the young girl, the intern at the Walgreens, she felt this looked like the script looked fake, so they pulled up on me. Bam, another felony in Florida. And let me tell you, Florida is way easier than the jails. At least Tampa, Florida is way easier than the jail here, the Gander Hill one I talked about. But all county jails, some county jails are worse than prisons. Prisons, you got more freedom. They got trees in the yard. They got grass you could touch. You're not just looking at a low ass 2.5 inch window, 5 feet high, 2.5 inches wide, wishing you were out there. You can't. You got to lock it out. You got to lock the world out. There is no world. There is no world when you're in jail doing time. That is over. The only world you look forward to is your family visiting you, letters, commissary, money on the phone. When I was doing time, That's all we had. You know what I'm saying? And when everybody else gets called, CEO says, letters. Everybody walking up, getting their name called for letters. You ain't getting none. Man, I did 3 fucking years living off the state. No letters. No money on the books. No visits. But I had my homeboys hold me down because luckily I was locked up in a hometown state that a lot of people knew me, so they was holding me down. So apparently my family ain't fuck with me no more because that was like 7th, 8th time I was in jail. Remember, your family will forget about your ass. They'll forget about your ass. You keep coming in and out. They'll think you're a lost cause, and you can't blame them. How you gonna blame your family? Fathers do it to sons. Mothers do it to sons and daughters. Same shit. Once there's the revolving door, man, you got to break that fucking stigma. You got to do it for the kids, for the youth. You got to do it to show them that this ain't shit. So this generation's fucked up now, man. This is a whole new generation. It's got me fucked up. I couldn't imagine if we had all this shit when I was growing up. Fuck, I'd probably be locked up for typing all kinds of shit. But that's just part 1. I'm going to go in real detail and probably going to be about part 3 or 4 series of just my life personally. I just want to do an introduction of myself. And this is to help men and women that are locked up right now in jail. If they have phones in jail, I won't blow their spot up. I ain't trying to get them called with phones, but come on here, man. My email again, Petey Siekerda. I know it's a long Italian last name. PeteySiekerda@gmail.com. Or just comment on one of the videos on Life After Lockdown. And I got you. You could do an interview. And women that have their man locked down, their baby dad locked down, they're welcome as well. Because guess what? Your family's doing time right with you. They're doing time right with you. If you don't think they fucked up in the head, worried about what you're going through, what if you're going to survive in there, whether if you got to join a gang up in there or whatever, or running up your time. They just want you to come the fuck home. So they're doing time right with you. It's just a different type of time they're doing. Your kids, oh my God. I got like 6 years away from my son. Just the last 3.5 years, we really bonded, really. And he's 15 now. He's into music. He likes to play guitar. You know what I mean? So if I would have continued this process and not been out of the system for almost 8 years that I have now, I would have never known who my son is. And he wouldn't even want to fuck with me. So luckily, I just got out in time. And luckily, I quit all that bullshit, popping them pills, because now it's all in fentanyl, all that fake shit. When I quit in 2016, November 22nd, 2016. So I've been like almost 7, something like that, 7, 8, whatever. Point is, I ain't touched shit since then. And if you're an ex-drug addict or whatever, welcome to. Everybody's welcome. This is Petey Rax. Appreciate little Draco. Anybody listening to this? I'm going to set this up as a regular video after I do this at the live. It's going to be on the channel. So y'all have a blessed day. Remember, always be real to yourself. Don't worry about what anybody fucking says to you or influences you to do. Whether it be the music you listen to, don't let that shit hype you the fuck up. Because them rappers, they ain't going to jail. They're all telling why your ass is going to be in jail. Talking about, yo, you can go in jail. Hear that new motherfucking Lil Baby's track, isn't it? Man, listen, it's all fucking trick. It's all political trick. They're all puppets. You only got one life to live. You don't want to spend it in that bitch. You don't want to spend it locked up. All right, once again, I'm out. Y'all have a blessed day. One love.